Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. The channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all of these areas, topics, subjects, looking for potential investment opportunities and sharing those with the community. And I'm really looking after those companies that are big growth, undervalued, good technicals, kind of that whole combination with gigantic asymmetry to the upside. I'll be releasing a midweek update late today, early tomorrow morning, depending on when I can get to it. That's where I go over all these individual companies more freely. And if you're interested in joining, we do have a coupon code special, which is 50% off the first month only, and a larger discount on the yearly membership if you are interested. So let's dive in, take a look, see what's going on today. We're starting with the DXY, and to me, this looks like it's ready to go lower. How do I know that? We've got the rising wedge here. We've got a breakout on pretty large breakout there. Came down, struggled to come back up. We've got the big wick at the top, and we have a bearish engulfing pattern today, which screams that it wants to go lower. So this is looking good for a potential move lower, and the driver of this has typically been interest rates pulling back. So when we go and we look at interest rates, the 2-year yield, big down day today, kind of a bearish engulfing going on. We've got this breakout here, and we came up and did a retest, and let's see if we can get some follow through here. The 10-year also down, could be considered a bearish engulfing of all these candlesticks before it. We could see a move lower. We do have a lot of support below us, which we've broken out of this pattern here. So your support's coming across there. So we'll see if we can get some traction to the downside here and how sustaining that move is. The 30-year also getting a bearish engulfing, engulfing all the stuff before it. That's pretty good for a move lower. It doesn't mean that it has to happen tomorrow. You could get a small up day or something like that before heading lower. But it looks like to me that the interest rates want to go lower here in the short term. TYX, TNX ratio basically sideways, up 0.2%. Just a small tailwind behind gold from this metric. And again, we're at a real low spot where we have a long way to go if that yield curve wants to uninvert 30 versus the 10. 20-year bond prices up a little bit, and that does look like it wants to go higher. I call this stuck in the mud with all of this resistance support back here. But to me, I mean, if someone were to ask me what's going on, I'd say someone's in there buying bonds and they're pushing rates lower and they're going to push bond prices up. That would be my guess. 2 and 10, the 2 and 10 is holding steady, just moving sideways, up 0.1%. We've got gold up $17. This is a ridiculously good-looking chart. Had this consolidation there, so consolidation, breakout, consolidation, breakout, and we are running way higher in gold. It looks real good. Silver's also running higher out of its little breakout there to the upside, and that has, again, some momentum that's been built. Consolidation, breakout, breakout, and we are going to move on higher for silver in the short term, medium term, and long term. It looks good on all time frames. Platinum up about 1%. We are still underneath some resistance, trying to break out. We've got a bloody nose on the weekly candlestick, and on the daily, we had a little bit of an up move today. So we're still consolidating. When we start to see platinum break out and move, I think you're going to see everything move. Oil, fertilizers, all the commodities. And if platinum can outperform gold, I think you're going to see stocks start to struggle, like the S&P 500 technology stocks and stuff like that. Not the equities in oil and stuff like that. So palladium down 3%. Getting some selling pressure today in palladium, but we've broken out of this to the upside, and the momentum is still to the upside. It hasn't reversed yet, but it is a larger down candlestick today. GDX up 1.16, GDXJ up 2.3, and SILJ up 2.8. Looking pretty good on all of them. Decently strong closings on them. Pretty close to the top. They didn't pull back very much, so that looks good. XAU to gold ratio, we were up today a little bit. And again, guys, we are at just ridiculously low prices. Low prices for gold and silver mining companies against gold. Gold's been taking off. Gold and silver mining companies have not participated. When you see a valuation like this is a really low valuation compared to history. We could see a gigantic move in gold and silver mining companies. And I know people are always wondering, well, when is it going to happen? When's it going to happen? Number one, it's a big process. It's not fast. These bottoming processes take time, as does the topping processes in S&P 500 and technology. When those top and when that tops out in S&P and tech, money I think will rotate in here eventually. But it's a big process. It's not super fast. Crude oil down slightly, down 0.75. We had a big selling pressure move earlier, retesting this and then coming back up. The momentum is coming back up in oil here. The weird part is we are very low on inventory. We're about fair value on oil is about $84, $85 a barrel, given commercial inventory levels. So we're coming into the seasonally weak area of January and February. Then after that, we come into a more seasonal strength with gasoline demand and oil demand. So I think we'll probably bottom here at some point and work our way on up eventually. TTF gas, we bounced a little bit lower today off this upper resistance line, down 2.5%. Natural gas in America down 3.5% or so. And we bounced off resistance right through here, that long-term resistance, that blue line. And I do think we'll get above this eventually. Maybe it's the summer and we have to go through spring or something like that sideways. We'll see. I try not to, the short term is not a big deal. And I know people look at this like you're making money and you're losing money. The equities make money when you get sustained periods like this. That's where they make a ton of money. I think that's what's coming, is a sustained period where we get higher prices and the equities are going to go ballistic. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me. We had oil down and oil equities are way up 2.44%, putting in a bullish engulfing. Is this bullish? Yes. Yes, it is. We're going to go higher is what this chart is telling me. And today is that bottoming bullish engulfing candlestick. Energy service also getting the bullish engulfing candlestick. I think we're going to go up, up, up. And we'll see if oil and nat gas go up with it. Newcastle coal futures down 2.8%. We're still doing the bottoming process thing here, but still looks okay. We've got Sprott Physical Uranium Trust slightly lower. No real update here. It's just traded sideways and we're still in the pattern, the big flag pattern there. So patience. Uranium price is slightly lower, basically flat today. And again, I think we're going to go higher. We're going to go way higher. It's going to go up with everything else in commodities. So we'll see fertilizers, oil, all that stuff. It's all going to go up together. And it's going to be driven by a weaker dollar. URA getting some positioning in there, up 3.18%, looking better, bouncing off support. URNM up 3.6, holding steady, and URNJ up 3.7, holding steady right where we're at. And again, I think money flow and the rotation of capital away from certain sectors into these sectors is underway, but it's really slow. Copper up 1.4 or 1.5%, breaking out of this pattern here. It looks really good. What I see here is your flag pattern, and it's breaking to the upside. So that looks very good for copper. COPX also getting some buying pressure, up about 3.3%. Iron ore up 0.62. This is a big deal. This is going to be a big move, guys. If you want to know how to play this, I will talk about it in my midweek update for iron ore and steel. I think we're going to go like this eventually and work our way on up. I'm not saying it's going to be immediate. It could be, but positioning, you want to position in this kind of corner dead period for the move that is coming. Aluminum also up, but still underneath that stinking resistance line. I think if we break through this resistance line there, that we'll get a big old run to the upside in aluminum. Nickel down slightly, still just tracking sideways there. We've got Mu up about 1% underneath resistance of that blue line. That blue line goes all the way back across here. We've got emerging markets up 1.8, and this is due to that weakening dollar, weakening yields. And I do think if we get weaker dollar, this thing's going to be a rocket ship. KRE up 2%, weaker dollar, weaker yields. TAN up 2.35, weaker dollar, weaker yields. Lithium up 2%, same reasoning. REMX up 2.5, weaker dollar, weaker yields. Breaking the downtrend line. If I could draw it more properly, something like that. Breaking that downtrend there. Baltic Dry Index up 0.4%. I think this is delayed today, but I do think this is going to round out here and turn on up eventually. We've got XHB home builders up 0.74%, but this does not look good. We need lower rates. It's holding on. I mean, we've got a bullish engulfing here. We've got a small selling pressure move, which is bullish, but it fell out of this rising wedge to the downside. So we need lower yields to get this to work its way on up. 10 years specifically would be the impact to mortgage rates. Russell 2000 up 1.4%, looking all right. SPX up 0.72, sitting above support, looking all right and good. NASDAQ up 1.35. We are up above this. Plunge protection team doing its job, keeping those yields down. SMCI up 8%. Are we in a kind of consolidation and a potential breakout? Looks like it could be. And NVIDIA up 1.7. I don't know if this can reclaim and get back up there or if it's going to roll over and sell off for NVIDIA, but that's where we're at. Kind of an ugly looking chart. Bitcoin down 3.68%. Interesting here. We've got pretty good buying and selling pressure going on in that circle there and getting some pretty strong selling pressure here. Ethereum down 5.9 also. We've broken out of this pattern to the downside. Two thoughts here. Yes, it could go lower, and that's what we're getting is some selling pressure here this past day. Could this be a slingshot where we come down and slingshot it higher? That could also be a possibility. I've seen a lot of stuff at these corners here sell off, get everybody short or on the wrong side of the position, and then squeeze them to the upside. It's getting real hard to use these technical analysis patterns in the short term because it's almost like they can force it to the downside and then squeeze it to the upside. So I have seen a lot of that going on. And then MSTR today was up slightly, and it does look like it could try to go higher. But that would also mean that Bitcoin is going to try to go higher. And this is one ugly looking back and forth between buyers and sellers. So we'll see where that goes. And then the VIX is down a little bit as the S&P and NASDAQ and stuff was up. So that's what we've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Use that special coupon code special for a discount. And we've got the midweek update coming up. There is a lot, some of the companies that we're in, gold and silver, they are ripping. They are ripping. There's some stuff that's down right now that I would consider to be good buy points that I've been watching. I like, some of the other stuff, like some of the oil stuff really went up today a lot. So there's some things that look good, and we'll go over all that stuff on the midweek update. All right, guys, that's all I've got for today. We'll catch you next time. See ya.